It's National Pizza Day! Woo! Coming in hot. I know. Coming in hot on this Thursday evening. It's February 9th. It's just because I'm excited. It's February 9th. It is National Pizza Day. Yes! And I am hooking you up here on Kitsch with some Detroit style pizza. My name is Kristen Solorzano. I am the recipe developer and content creator behind What's the Freakin Recipe, where I share semi-homemade recipes and comfort food for busy people like yourself. So let's just get into it. And I do have a little some provisions for the occasion. I have a beer. I did participate in Dry January, so this is my official first beer of February since that happened. I did, full disclosure, I did have an Aperol Spritz yesterday at dinner when we went out, but cheers. Cheers to you. Thanks for being here. This is a Sheboygan Brewing Company Blood Orange Honey. It's so delicious. Highly suggest seeking it out if you have it in your area. All right, so we're gonna start a little backwards. So we're gonna start with the sauce because it does require a little simmering, just to like a little love, and then I'll show you how to make the dough. So start off with high quality tomatoes. I do have Bianco di Napoli. This is such a great tomato. This is my friend's family's company. So it's owned by Chris Bianco, obviously, and then her family, the Donapolis, who I've known for the past, oh my God, 15 years. It's her uncle, Rob. So when we went to school together, she's like, my family has a tomato farm. And we're like, that's awesome. And then seeing it grow over the years is just wild to see how they are known globally all over the world, but also they're the best chefs in the world use these tomatoes. So it's super cool to see. All right, so I have a can of whole tomatoes, and try and seek out like a high quality tomato, because then you're gonna get sweetness and you don't have to add sugar to it. But if you only have, just generic whole tomatoes, use that. Just add like a half a teaspoon of granulated sugar to the sauce. So you can also buy crushed tomatoes, but then you're depriving yourself of that dopamine that comes when you squeeze tomatoes with your hands, right? It just feels so good. It's satisfying. Obviously, wash your hands. I mean, come on, don't be gross, but it just feels so good. Look at that, just squishing through your hands. Plus, you have like a little bit of control as to how crushed you actually want the tomatoes to be. Like if you want the bigger chunks, go ahead and do that. I fully support you. But honestly, I just wanted to do this for my own enjoyment. If I'm being completely honest. It just feels so good. It's so satisfying. Try and if you do this, work in a large bowl, so then you kind of have like a built-in splash guard. Oh yeah, that looks nice. All right, I'm gonna wash my hands, and then I'm gonna take y'all over to the stovetop, and we'll get going on simmering our sauce while we work on the dough. I'm so happy you're here and you're able to join me on this National Pizza Day. Okay, so I'm gonna take y'all over here. Don't look at that, because that's our dough. Okay, we're good. So I have a medium-ish saucepan here, and I'm going to add some olive oil to the saucepan. Just a nice healthy drizzle. And I also have 2 cloves of crushed garlic, which I'm gonna crush right now. I have 2 fat cloves of garlic. I love a garlicky pizza sauce, I'm not gonna lie. It's probably one of my favorite things. I love garlic. I'm always adding garlic to pizza. If we go to one of those, mod pizza or blaze pizza where you can make your own pizza and put whatever the hell you want on it, and it's your own, I'm adding garlic. You betcha. Okay. So I'm gonna add the garlic to the oil. We don't want the oil too hot because we don't want the garlic to burn and get bitter. But what we do want to do is infuse that oil for our sauce. And we're not talking like a Sunday sauce, right? We're not simmering this for hours and hours and hours. Like it's gonna be 20 minutes, okay? But what we're doing here is we're infusing the garlic and the oregano into that oil. So then when we add our tomatoes, it's just all gonna meld together. Cool? You got it. You got it. Let me just pick up a little bit here. I do have a little something something in the oven, which I am smelling, and I'm tempted to just check. But I also need a spatula, which I failed to grab before I started this party. Here we go. It's getting there. I'm gonna crank it up just slightly so we can expedite. Ooh. Actually, I'm gonna turn that around. Got a little something going ahead of time, huh? All right. You see the garlic starting to sizzle a little bit. Really, all you're looking for is it to start to get pretty fragrant. So once you start smelling that oregano and the garlic, that's when you know it's time to add your tomatoes. So I'm gonna add a little bit of salt and some red pepper flakes, just a little bit, nothing crazy, just something, just a little something. Here you go. Oh yeah, man. I wish y'all could smell this. It smells so good. All right, so I'm gonna add our tomatoes. Bump the camera in the process. It's all part of the experience. All part of the experience. There we go. And then mix it around to make sure that the garlic and the oregano and the salt gets all mixed with that luscious tomato mixture. All right, cool. Let's do this. Let's start on our dough. So I'll show you how to make the dough. I do, full transparency, this pie is a little bit of a process, so I did have to do some things ahead of time because I didn't want to cheat y'all by not seeing the final product. And also, I didn't want us to be staring at each other for 2 hours. So we did phases. Okay, so for our dough, this is a super easy pizza dough. 2 cups of bread flour or 300 grams. If you have a food scale, I highly recommend getting one. They're like 10 bucks. I use mine all the time, probably every day. And 1 teaspoon of salt. I'm using pink Himalayan sea salt just because I want to. And then I have a teaspoon and a half of yeast. And then about a cup of room temp water. And you'll notice we're not adding sugar to this dough at all. We're heavily relying on the yeast, which is actually instant yeast. I don't think I called that out. So it's instant yeast, traditionally used for bread makers, which we have. We love our bread maker, even though it does make bread look like a Lego. We use ours all the time just because it's so convenient to throw all the ingredients in the machine and then just have it do its thing and you got fresh bread. It's delicious. Okay. I hear my timer because I do have something going ahead of time. But let me hold on. So I know I'm doing this by hand. I did actually mix the dough with a stand mixer, and I did include stand mixer ingredients in the recipe over on the right-hand side of the stream. But, ooh, that's looking delish. Okay, like another 2 minutes just to make sure we got it. So this is like a little bit of a longer process because you're not relying on the dough hook to do all the work for you. You're putting in those muscles, which is fine. So really what you're looking for is like a shaggy dough. So after you knead this, if you do it by hand for like 7 minutes, I know it seems like a lot, but it is worth it. So you will end up like with a shaggy dough. I'm not going to do this for 7 minutes, but I wanted to show you that you can do it both ways. You can use a stand mixer or you can use your hands. And like, I mean, super simple. We're not even adding oil or anything to the dough yet. We add the dough to the bowl and to our pizza pan. So that's good for today's purposes. I'm not going to need this much more. I'm going to save this dough and I'm going to make my soft baked pretzels with pizza dough for the Super Bowl. So I'm going to save it and use it for something else. All right, let me wash my hands. We're getting messy today. All right. If you're up for it, come on up to the chef's table. I'd love to see your face. Tell me what your favorite pizza toppings are. I'll tell you mine. I'm actually going to put my favorite and my husband's favorite on this pizza today. But also, if you have any questions as we're going through everything, go ahead and type it in. I'll see it pop up here on the left-hand side of the screen, and we'll chat. We'll chat pizza. Okay. Ooh. All right. That's looking pretty dang good. I'm going to stick that in our top oven for now, and we'll keep it going. Sound good? All right. So once the sorry. Pepperoni, yes, I love the pepperoni, especially on like a Detroit style where you get those cups and then you just have like the little bit of pepperoni grease just like in the middle. That's like that speaks to me. Okay. So Detroit style pizza, I'm sure you are familiar. If you are not, then let's talk about it. So Detroit style pizza is traditionally a deep dish pizza. It's baked in a well-seasoned square pan, and it's slightly different than like the traditional pizza. It almost has like focaccia bread vibes, right? So you get it's almost buttery, but there's no butter in the dough. It's buttery from the high quality olive oil that you're using to bake the pizza in the pan. And it also gets transferred into the dough once you add it to the bowl after you make your dough. And you get these little like air pockets of bubbly dough. See, I have one trying to get up on there. It is satisfying to try and pop it, but it's not letting me do it at this point in time. I'll get there. I'm gonna pop it. There it goes. But also, some other characteristics of Detroit pizza is the sauce is not directly on top of the crust. It's actually ladled on top of the cheese. So you have the crust, then goes the cheese, or the crust, depending on where you go, the toppings, then the cheese, than the sauce. Okay. And there's no crust edge. You're going to get a nice, delicious cheese skirt on the side. So we're going to go edge to edge with the cheese. It's going to be so good. So you can even see like the oil kind of like popping up here. Maybe the olive oil popping up in that little corner. So right now I'm preparing the dough to start adding our toppings. Let me get a better, there we go. We'll move you closer a little later. All right. Okay. So for this particular pie, check on our sauce here. I'm going, starting with the pepperoni, classic, right? And since there are no edge crust, we don't have to account for that. We're going like topping, edge to edge, cheese, edge to edge, okay? We're loading it up. So you're gonna see rows of pepperoni here. Oh yeah, baby. So delish. It's gonna take a minute, which is okay. It's worth it. I promise. So delish. Oh yeah. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. Oh, we got a little nubbin. That's okay. There we go. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. There we go. All right. And then something that's also different with Detroit style pizzas is Detroit style pizza uses a blend of mozzarella and provolone cheese, but it's not shredded. We cube it up. So these are cubed. And the reason we do that is the oven is very hot. So right now, my oven only goes up to 480. So that's 480 convection right now. I would like for you, if you can, use a 500-degree oven. So we're baking this pretty hot. And our crust is deep dish, so it's a little bit thicker than the traditional pizza. And what we're looking for is a slow melt on the cheese. So by cubing it like this, we're getting that slow melt while it's cooking in a hot degree oven without it burning. Science. So in order to get that nice cheese crust, or the cheese skirt, I should say, I start along the edges first, just to get that going. So you know we're gonna have a nice skirt. Honestly, cheese skirt's like the only skirt I wanna have in my life. Alrighty. There we go. That's not true. I like skirts. All right. There we go. And then I'm going to fill in the gaps with our cheese. Oh, yes. Fill it up with the cheese. So I know sometimes it might be hard to find provolone in the store, at least like a chunk of it already ready to go. So what I do, because that happened to me when I was shopping for this stream, what I do is I go to the deli, like where you get your sandwich meat, and you say, hey, can I just have a chunk of provolone, like a 1-inch chunk of provolone, and they'll cut you a big, thick slice of it. And then you just chop it up into cubes. And then as far as the mozzarella goes, you're not looking for, this bubble is popping up. You're not looking for a fresh mozzarella. You're looking for either a whole milk mozzarella, or I do like using a low moisture. That way I'm not running into an overly greasy pizza with a whole milk. I like using the low moisture part skim. That's me. Use what you want. Oh my goodness. Okay. Alrighty. So This is our cheese with our pizza. It's looking good already. All right. We're making good time. I was a little worried. I mean, not worried, but slightly concerned. Nah, we're good. We're at 20 minutes. We don't have too much more to go. Okay. So I'm going to do something a little controversial. We are a pro pineapple house on our pizza. I know. But if you combine pineapple with jalapenos, pickled jalapenos, and the saltiness of the pepperoni, it's just like the ultimate combo. Plus, we don't yuck each other's yummin on this channel, okay? We are a pro pineapple family. And I'll tell you what I did. I'm not using canned pineapples. I took fresh pineapple from the store. I got the one that was already prepared in those cylinders so I can actually take a look and see if it's ripe, because I always get it wrong. I always get it wrong when it comes to pineapples. So I got one of those and I sliced them up and I roasted the pineapples in a 400-degree oven for like 10 to 15 minutes until they get a little caramelized. And this is doing two things. This is allowing the pineapple to remove some of its excess moisture in its own environment without the addition of dough, cheese, and sauce. So we're not going to end up with a soggy pizza, but we're also concentrating that pineapple flavor so it gets nice and caramelized and even sweeter. So highly suggest doing that. I also do the same thing with mushrooms because I love mushrooms on my pizza as well. But, you know, they kind of fight with the cheese and the dough with all that excess moisture that they're carrying in there. But then once you roast the mushrooms, you're also concentrating that flavor. So I'm adding, I'll do half. I'm not going to do the whole thing with pineapple. And then I'm also going to add pickled jalapenos, which is delicious on a pizza. I don't know why. And I also love adding banana peppers to pizza. I just love like a good balance on the tongue. You know, you go salty, sweet, spicy, tangy. So delish. There we go. Oh, yes. This looks so good. All right. Let me check on the one I got back here just to be sure we're all right. Oh, yeah. All right. So we're not done yet, right? Because we haven't added our sauce. Let me bring y'all back over here. Our sauce is looking good. It just had a moment to kind of meld together and wake up all of those different flavors. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tear up some fresh basil. This is probably the biggest basil leaf I have ever seen in my entire life. It looks so good though, right? So in the recipe over on the right-hand side, I think I put 3 to 4 basil leaves, or just like one of these monstrous ones. And you don't have to do like a chiffonade or a chop. I kind of like those chunky basil pieces, but it's your pizza. You do you, okay? Still be delicious if you don't have access to fresh basil. I know it's hard to find sometimes, at least decent ones here in Michigan, especially being February. They're kind of like avocados in a sense around here. Either you find really good ones or you find the boxes that have kind of had better days. Okay, and just mix that up. Oh man, so good. Plus I love those little specks of green in there. I'm just grabbing a hot pad so I can start ladling over our pizza. Rearrange some stuff here so I actually have room to do it. I'll bring you back over here. Alrighty. There we go. Okay. So for the pizza. Sorry, I'm looking for a ladle, which I did not get out. Alrighty. For the pizza, to finish it off, we're going to add the sauce right on the top. I like to go down the middle. Some people like to go horizontal. Some people like to go just little sauce dollops. So if you're from around here, Buddy's Pizza is like the originator of Detroit style pizza. They like to do the dollops. I prefer the sauce. So ideally you'd want the sauce to cool down a little bit, but for the sake of this stream, we're just gonna go right over the top. Right down there. Oh, baby. I like to do 3. You can do 4 across if you do horizontally. I think 3 is a good mix. 2 even. It's your pizza, okay? Have some fun with it. And there's not going to be, I know 28-ounce can of sauce kind of seems a lot, but we're already like done. We're done, basically. All right, that looks so delicious. And then just for my own sanity, so I know which is which, I kind of like to add just like a little pepperoni on top if I am using pepperoni. Just so I know which side is which, because I mean, nobody in my family likes the same toppings. Nobody. I don't know how it is at your house, but it's always like, all right, so this pizza, we're going to get this one. And then we're going to get a second pizza. We're going to get these toppings. I'm sure you can relate. All right. This goes in a 500-degree oven or 480 convection. You want to set the oven rack on the lowest level because that way the top of the cheese does not burn. That's what we're going for. So this goes like 15-20 minutes in that hot oven. And when you're done, hold on. You'll get something like this. Right? Yes. You see the little cheese skirt on the side here, maybe? Hold on. I'm going right up in here. Bam. You see the little cheese skirt on the side. You got the little pepperoni cups. Maybe slightly round, like well done around the edges. That's okay. Okay. This looks so good. So ideally, you'd want this to kind of like sit in the pan for a couple minutes. If you can wait that long, okay? Have a sip of a beer, cocktail, and then you can get into it. Okay, let me see here the best way to do this. So I am going to kind of baby it a little bit to get it out of the pan. I go around the edges to loosen up that cheese skirt. Then we're going to plop it right on. Hold on. Needs a little extra love in here in the corner. Come on, baby. There we go. Ooh. Yes. So satisfying. I do suggest searching out a Detroit style pan. It does just keep an even heat on it, and you'll get a much better product. They have smaller ones. So this is particularly an 8x10. The one that we just made together is a 9x14 or 10x14. And I do have them linked over on the right-hand side if you're curious. So throw that out there. Okay, so while this is kind of sitting just for like a second before I slice it up, I'm going to sprinkle just some grated parm over the top, give it that authentic pizza, Detroit style pizza that we all know and love. We all love Detroit style, especially around here. Yum, yum, yum. So I did stick with the pineapple. This is for my kids. So my daughter loves pineapple on her pizza and only pineapple. We've tried. She likes it. She does her thing. Awesome. And I'm also happy to report that I got a new pizza wheel, because if you tuned into my hot mess of a Halloween kitchen where I made regular pizza, the pizza wheel broke directly into the pizza. So I'm happy to report I got a new one. I think I like to think I also regained some of my dignity as well. Okay. I have a knife. I'm going to use a knife instead of a pizza wheel because it's a deep dish and I forgot to set the timer. Damn it. Why'd you let me do that? Okay. So usually, for this size, it's like a 4-corner situation. So just boom, boom. For the sake of the kiddos. Ooh, I think I'm going to go 6. Yep, that's what I'm gonna do. But if you've had Detroit style, I feel like we all have a favorite. Like, are you a corner person? So you get that double cheese skirt, or are you kind of a middle? So you get the cheese skirt just right at the top. Let me know. I kind of go between the two. Like, I want one of each. I want one corner, and then the second piece that I have, I want the middle. See that gooey middle. You know what I mean? All right. Let's see if I can get a cheese pull out here for you. But I want to do it so I can show it like on camera. I'm gonna burn my fingers. There we go. Ooh! Ah, we did it. We did it. We did the cheese pull. That is so good and delicious. Look at that. You see how it kind of has like focaccia vibes right here? You see those holes? And then that gooey, melty cheese. And then the cheese skirt on the edge here. Classic Detroit style pizza. Woo! Cheers. I'm going for it. I can't wait. I can't. Oh, I just got to show the bottom though. See like the little, see that? All right, we're going for it. It's so hot. I had to take an emotional twirl. It's so good. I'm so excited you were able to join me for this. I think it's so cool that you could just join me in my kitchen and we can cook up some yummy stuff. All right. Hot. It's so hot. That's it, Kitch. This is how you make a Detroit style pizza. Everything, the recipe and everything is linked over on the right-hand side there. It's got the dough recipe, it has the sauce recipe, tells you how to assemble it. I see one person typing. It's gonna refresh. I'll see it. 1 second. I'm coming. We got it. We got it. I'm coming. I'm coming. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thanks for joining. I appreciate you. That's it, Kitch. I do owe you a couple of additional streams that I'm going to be scheduling next week. I hope you check out all of the tailgate channel, tailgate here on Kitch. I have a bunch of recipes to get you ready for the big game on Sunday. If you make this, you'll be set. It'll be, who cares? Who cares who wins? Because you're going to win. Your taste buds are going to win if you make this Detroit style pizza. If you have any questions, even after the stream, go ahead and type them in. I love hearing from y'all. You can also follow me on social media. I am at WTFIN Recipe on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Follow me here on Kitch for all the upcoming streams. And then I'm also cooking up something fun for March, which is just around the corner. So I'll catch you later, Kitch. Thanks for joining me in my kitchen. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the Super Bowl. I appreciate you. Bye.